guys, welcome back to the Laker family, where the Lakers just took an L versus the Indiana Pacers. And it was not surprising because I told y'all previously that the Lakers cannot go into this tough Pacers arena against this grit and grind, well-coached team. We could not go into that type of environment with the way that we have been playing the past couple of games. With as far as the turnovers, the lack of three-point shooting, just you name it. Like the supporting, I gave the supporting cast a pass the last game versus Miami because they, for one, a lot of teams that goes down and visits Miami, they tend to have too much fun partying and things of that nature before the game actually starts, and then by the time the game starts, they're just out of it. They're not on their A game, and due to the fact that we've been on this long East Coast road trip. But there's so many excuses that we can give our team and our role players before they start to show themselves and play like they're supposed to be playing. Yes, this is one loss. We only lost 4 games. That's why I'm not completely jumping overboard or nothing like that. It's just a little bit disappointing to see that there's still no growth as far as our 3-point shooting and the turnovers, especially on the road. We haven't found a solution to controlling that. I'm not gonna lie to you. There are certain guys that have been a major disappointment for me up until this point. Danny Green is the first one that jumps to my mind. He's not spacing the floor. He's not doing nothing that was advertised to us about Danny Green before he signed. I didn't expect this level of ineptitude from Danny Green from the 3-point line. It's ridiculous, and the guys that are supposed to be our snipers and help space the floor, they're not getting the job done. Troy Daniels is getting more minutes than Quick Cook. That lets you know how bad Quick Cook has been. And so he's been probably the next biggest disappointment for me with on this squad. Troy Daniels is not shooting well from 3 this year, and it's I wanted to jump in and straight go for LeBron. The way that he didn't come through mainly in the fourth. He had almost another triple-double, 29 and 9, but he contributed 5 turnovers. Some of them were in very crucial spots. His free throw shooting is for superstar standards is abysmal, and it's steadily drop. His free throw percentage is steadily dropping, and I'm sure Skip Bayless is going to have a field day with that. And maybe a few others tomorrow, any LeBron haters. I wanted to bash him, but I can't just go that hard on him because of how well he's been playing this whole season. He's been playing at an MVP caliber level. So we can't look to just go all the way in on him on one performance like this. And it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't a LeBron standard type of game, especially when the game was in hand, nip and tuck, tied throughout the, all the way to the end. I think we even went up by a couple of points under a few minutes. At that point, you would like to see your superstar guy take control of the game, especially if it's kind of even like that. But with that being said, I'm not going to show all the blame on him. You see what the Bucks are doing with Giannis. They surrounded him with elite 3-point shooters, and he's able to get the spacing that's necessary for him to do the things that he has been doing this season. From Middleton to Brook Lopez to Eric Bledsoe, Ilyasova. They have 3-point snipers all over the place that actually comes through. They know how to knock down an open 3-point shot when the ball is dished to them. Our 3-point shooters so far, not so much. We may have seen glimpses of good 3-point shooting. We haven't seen stretches or hot streaks from any of our 3-point shooters. And to tell you the truth, it seems like LeBron James and Anthony Davis shooting threes better than the guys that we paid for those positions. Granted, LeBron didn't shoot at all well from the 3-point range this game. I thought he settled too much for the 3-point shot at crucial times when he should have maybe tried to drive or make a play, do something different than bailing the defense out for a 3-point shot. But again, some of that goes back to him knowing if he drives and has the kick, the open shooter is not making the shot. So it clogs the lane up for LeBron. The defense can say, "Oh, let's sag off. We can kind of compact this lane in on a LeBron James drive because we can bank on their 3-point shooters not coming through." So it's a trickle effect. It's a chain reaction. We need this part to come through for this part to work. We need this part to come through for that part to work. And that's not been happening. And I told y'all the last video against the Miami Heat, we wouldn't have beat the Miami Heat if it wasn't for LeBron James and Anthony Davis, because the supporting cast has been lackluster and with their 3-point shooting. I'm not going to completely just trash the bench because they play good defense in spurts. Keyword, spurts, because through this game, the Pacers were able to execute some high-level offense, and they were, they were killing us in certain pick and roll situations. We weren't containing the big man on pick and rolls. You name it. And also, I want to give the bench at least this much credit for this game. They had a stretch where LeBron was on the bench, and they were able to keep the game within reach and keep it from. They were fighting. Nip and tuck still with the Pacers, even though LeBron was on the bench. That part I was very pleased about from the bench. But other than that, the free throw shooting and the 3-point shooting is what cost us. 25% from the 3-point line. We shot 8 for 31. All the Pacers had to do was shoot a few percentages better from the 3-point range ball game. We got to win the 3-point game and then hit our free throws in clutch moments. Just hit a high percentage of your free throws, period. But you definitely want to make free throws in the clutch moments of the game. We got to get better at that. This game really showed us the value of Anthony Davis and shows you how underappreciated he is by some fans and most of the media. This guy is most definitely, hands down, a top 5 player in this league. And it showed because Sabonis and Turner feasted tonight. They do not eat like this if Anthony Davis is in this game. And we win if Anthony Davis is in this game. But I don't want to use that as an excuse. We still could have we only lost by 3 points if our bench come through from beyond the arc, hit our free throws, and LeBron makes a little bit better decisions as far as not kind of quite settling for that 3-point range. I know he didn't. I know he may have started to have some trust issues with his teammates, knocking down 3 open shots at that point. But you still have to try to attack the defense. Don't bail them out with those long range threes. Yes, the referees played a part in this game, but up until this point in the season, we know what it is with the referees by now. We've kind of got a good feel of how the referees are going to referee the Lakers. We are the Lakers, and as of right now, the refs have shown us thus far that they're not going to really have our backing in a lot of situations. So we have to kind of take that mindset into a lot of these games. It's us against the world almost basically us against the team and the refs. There were crucial calls that got overturned for the Pacers. There were calls that were ticky-tack, all that kind of stuff going in the Pacers' favor. But we still shouldn't have let this game get into the referee's hands. We got to do better than this. And again, I'm not going to completely trash this team because it's just one loss. It's nothing to get bent out of shape about. We still have a 24-4 record, and the same thing just happened to the Bucks. I think they overlooked their team trying to look ahead to us Thursday, and we might have suffered from the same thing, trying to look ahead to Thursday's game against the Bucks. So this is setting up a great game for Thursday. Both top teams coming off losses, and I guarantee you, both teams do not want to take 2 consecutive losses in a row. So that's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight, and I can't wait to see Anthony Davis versus Giannis, because you know those two will be holding each other. But yeah. The 2 guys that I wanted to point out, other than LeBron James, were JaVale McGee and Dwight, especially Dwight Howard. Great game from Dwight, monster game, 20 points and 2 blocks. He shot 10 for 10 from the field. Great energy from Dwight Howard. Bradley played well in spurts, 13 points. Caruso played well in spurts. Notice I'm using the word spurts, because there was a lot of moments where the team just failed to make that play. It seemed like they would do something special, and then when it was time to seal it or make the play, it wasn't there. So it was a total team from that aspect. The whole team, including LeBron, they had that type of vibe tonight, where it was like they couldn't make the play to just go ahead and just flush the Pacers away. They had a lot of opportunities in my eyes to flush the Pacers away. They didn't do that. But if we got to clean this up, we can't go into the Bucks arena with this type of performance, or we will get embarrassed. We will get embarrassed. So I think I rambled on enough. I think I covered the bulk of everything. And as always, thank y'all for watching. And if y'all want to be a part of the Laker family, like, share, and subscribe. Thank y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.